Okay, now listen, we've talked about going to the other side, transitioning early in the program, and how to have a chat with the folks that you forgot to talk to while they were still alive. We talked about theology, how to best communicate with the leaders up there, and now, before you go, how to prepare. There it is. In that book, you're going to find everything you could possibly want to know that you were dying to know .info. You want to know about the humor that I was talking about before? The subtitle is The Comprehensive Guide to Kicking the Bucket. Julian Blum, I've known you now for 30 years. I knew you in a different capacity. Your career before the book, now that you are in the legitimate world of literature.
60 years as a real estate broker. Still retain my license, but I'm retired, writing books.
Well, all right, but you started to write this book somewhat privately.
Right. When I reached about 84, my wife of 25 years, who's taken really good care of me, said, "Julian, you're getting past your life expectancy."
Wives are always good about reminding us about that.
Right. "I would like you to put your affairs in order in case something happens." And like so many people, I had procrastinated and procrastinated. I really didn't know where to start. I had so much stuff. So I started by figuring out what is it that would happen to me first. And I figured, well, I'm going to have a heart attack. And my wife is going to have to call 911. And that 911, she's going to be so flustered that she probably would know my name, but she wouldn't know the cross streets or the Social Security number or all the other things that are necessary. So I wrote all that type of thing down. When I accumulated so much information, I decided that this is something that might be interesting for other people. And being kind of an entrepreneur, I decided to see if I could make a book. And I put together a scrapbook, and it was so somber. So I decided to add some humor to it. So I coined the phrase, a lighthearted subject. A lighthearted approach to a very serious subject.
Yeah, and your target audience is everybody, because we're all going to kick the bucket. It includes legal forms, estate planning, wills, funeral arrangements, death certificates, obituaries, how to write an obit, life insurance info. And, now listen, I got to do this. I never, ever read out of somebody else's book, but I'm going to do this. Because I'm the guy that did comedy for all those years. Let me see if I've still got the timing, okay? On page 27, for example, this is also included. On virtually every page, there's a joke. Two elderly couples were enjoying friendly conversation when one of the men asked the other, "Fred, how was the memory clinic you went to last month?" "Outstanding," Fred replied. "They taught us all the latest techniques, and psychological visualization association made a huge difference for me." "That's great. What was the name of the clinic?" Fred went blank. He thought and thought, but couldn't remember. Then a smile broke across his face, and he asked, "What do you call that flower with the long stem and thorns?" "You mean a rose?" "Yes, that's it." He turned to his wife. "Rose, what was the name of that clinic?" See, you gotta laugh from the floor crew. That's a big deal. Right. They don't pay a whole lot of attention to the stuff that goes on here, but you've got laughing matters throughout this entire thing. It is so readable.
Look at this one.
Well, yes, guy in a casket saying, "Oh, one more thing." So here you are, Julian, enthusiastically talking about not only the information, but also the entertainment quality, because it is depressing when you read most of those books.
Right, and most people don't really want to discuss the subject, and that's why they procrastinate in putting their affairs in order.
Are most people unprepared?
Yes, I've found that in doing some research, we have 90 million families in the United States that are 50 years or older. Less than 51% of those families even have a last will and testament. And that's a disaster.
You want to know why he knows? Because he's 85. And his wife said, hey, let's get some of the information together, Julian. Julian Blum, B-L-U-M. The book is available, and your website is?
www.dyingtoknow.info.
You better tell me that again so that I can write it down.
www.dyingtoknow.info. It's the same as the title of the book.
Julian, I can't believe it. After 30 years, we're talking about kicking the bucket, but it's okay because I'm going to have you back in another 30 to remind us how the book did. Dyingtoknow.info. You got to get one.